The more I've gone deeper into my coaching journey, the more I've realized that the first 5 to 10 years when I started coaching, I was overcomplicating stuff, and I felt like what I was doing was improving the players. What I realized was it wasn't about them, it was about me. And I was coaching with ego and technicality because I felt like that was the right way to coach. And I felt like if I didn't use highly technical terms or I didn't over-explain an activity, I wouldn't gain credibility and I wouldn't have expertise. And I thought that was what coaching was about until I went to university and I ripped apart everything in my coaching philosophy. And I was mic'd up consistently in my sessions. And I was made to deeply reflect on myself as a coach in what I was actually doing. Was it effective? And these were the questions I was asked, which I'd never been asked before, and I'd never been challenged in that way. What really stood out to me in my discoveries was I was actually overcomplicating and overcoaching. So what I realized from that is I needed to simplify what I was doing, and I needed to not care about what other people thought about my coaching. Because on the outside, if you ever looked at a session of mine, you would think it was a session appropriate for under 10s. And what I prioritize now is the learning design of the sessions and how I'm going to teach every player of every level the same stuff and how I'm going to master it and what actually transfers to the actual game. What I've found is keeping it very simple transfers to the game better than doing overcomplicated explanations and labeling activities or actions or certain skills in a complicated way. Now, terminology is important, but using sticky words helps players memorize certain aspects of the game better. It also helps them to be able to understand concepts, and using analogies alongside that skyrockets the learning. The more I got deeper into coaching, the more I realized that me becoming a better teacher actually helped increase the learning of the players. And I threw my ego to the side and focused on becoming a more effective coach, shortened everything that I did. And some of the responses I got wasn't really good because I had a lot of players disbelieving in me because they came from systems whereby the coach gave them high technical feedback and they had sets where they had to do 12 to 15 actions. And this is the way a lot of players think basketball should be. And at a high level, it is like that. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be like that. That's kind of what we're building players up for as development coaches. So it is important to progress your level 1 stuff to level 2 to level 3, but ultimately it's where your team is at. If your team is not at that IQ level and not at that concentration level and not at the level to the point where they don't even know how to attack different ball screen coverages when they're seeing different stuff, like even the simple thing of how do you attack somebody going under, how do you attack somebody going over, how do you attack a switch, how do you attack a drop, how do you attack an ice, how do you attack a blitz. If they don't know that stuff, then there's no point in us teaching that stuff when they're not at that level. We need to progress it, and we need to think about coaching in a way that is progressive and meeting our team where they are at and knowing your personnel. It doesn't matter about your reputation, it doesn't matter about your credibility. As long as you're being effective as a coach and as long as you're seeing that transfer into game, then that's all you should care about, really. It doesn't matter what people think.